Hello everybody, welcome back to the channel. I'm naming this House of Nerdy, and today we have to talk about all the crazy new No Way Home news that's going on. I want to talk about Tobey Maguire and Andrew Garfield and their potential runtime in the film and what they will potentially be doing in the film once they're in it. And also, I want to talk about the rumored post-credit scene and what that could mean for not only Spider-Man but also Sony going forward. So starting off, there have been a lot of leaks and rumors about Tobey Maguire and Andrew Garfield and how long they'll be in the movie. Some saying like 5 minutes, some saying like half the movie, but more recently there have been leaks talking about like 30 minutes to 40 minutes, and I think that makes a lot more sense, and I think that's what you should expect, like a quarter of the movie. Like I'm thinking part of the second act and then most of, if not all of the third act, and that doesn't mean they're going to be on screen like from when they start to when it finishes. No, they're going to be on screen here and there, but by the time you get to the end of the movie, they'll basically be co-stars, if you want to say, like to Tom Holland Spider-Man. And I just think personally that's a great thing. I think it'd been a little underwhelming if they just put him in for 5 minutes at the end of the movie and just took him right back out or something like that, or we just like barely saw him, like a Ralph Boner situation. Like I think that would have been a little corny and just lame, you know what I mean? Like I don't think that would have been what people were expecting. I don't think that would have hit the mark. Like I just think it would have been a big missed opportunity, and like really, why did you do it? Like we just didn't want to see him there for like 3 minutes. We wanted to see him there for like a decent amount of, like, get him interact and just have a lot of like fun with, and that seems to be what they're doing with this film. And also when you hear the other reports of they're going to be coming in as scientists first rather than Spider-Man, they're going to be trying to solve this multiversal problem, and I just think that's great. Like we haven't gotten to see the genius side of Peter Parker, maybe a little bit in Far From Home when he was talking with Mysterio about like the multiverse and things like that. You got to see like, oh, this guy is not a normal 17-year-old. Like he's a genius, top 5 smartest in Marvel. Like he's that level. So getting a chance to showcase those skills, and you saw them do this with Tobey and Andrew. So I think it's time for us to see that version of Tom Holland and see them get really sweaty and just get them to be scientists, because that's a big part of Peter Parker. It's a big part of his character and a big part of the comics, really. Now, while that's fun and also is very much needed for Spider-Man in the MCU, there's something I gotta talk about that just doesn't excite me nearly as much, and it's the No Way Home post-credit scene, or rumored No Way Home post-credit scene. And it goes like this. It goes like Eddie Brock and Venom are talking. They're talking about potential superhero names because now they're in a world full of superheroes, and it's just crazy to them. They're just having a blast. They can't wait to get out there and be superheroes and just do all this crazy stuff, and then they just get yanked back to the universe with a piece of the symbiote staying behind. The thing that saved it was the symbiote staying behind. If they just yank them back, I'd just be done, because that's a full Ralph Boner. Like why put them in the universe for 5 seconds and just yank them back out? But since they're leaving the symbiote behind, they're going to do some things with Spider-Man in the MCU with that symbiote later on, and maybe we get a more comic accurate Eddie Brock in the MCU universe. Who knows what Sony and Marvel got going on? But it is a bit disappointing that we won't see Eddie Brock, Tom Hardy Venom go against like Spider-Man and like in the MCU and like doing stuff. It's probably going to be Spider-Man going over to the Sony universe, if that even happens at all. And I just think this leaves a lot of people feeling disappointed, especially normies who are just like ready to see this happen. Like Venom 2 wasn't the greatest film, but like that was a shining grace. Like people loved it, and I feel like people are going to just like be underwhelmed and disappointed by this. Like I was talking about earlier, like we didn't want to see the Spider-Man for 5 minutes. We definitely don't want to see Venom for 5 seconds in the MCU. But they're going to do their thing. They have a plan. I trust Marvel. So I don't think Venom was going to be in the MCU. Like I thought Venom 3 was going to be in the MCU. I don't think it will be now. I know Marvel is co-producing Venom 3. Yeah, that's a rumor out there. So there might be some things later down the line. But for right now, it doesn't seem like they're going to be crossing over. It doesn't seem like Sony is going to be a part of the MCU like I thought before. But I still think we're going to see Tom Holland Spider-Man go over to that universe, play around with some things, maybe come back, because there is another rumored trilogy for the MCU that takes place during his college year, so it's very possible we could see that transpire. But I don't think anytime soon we're going to be seeing Morbius, Venom, or all these guys in the MCU like I previously thought before. And with all that said, I'm still very excited for No Way Home. I can't wait. It's like 2 weeks left till this movie comes out. I think it's going to blow my mind. I think it's going to be an amazing film. I think it's going to be maybe one of the best Spider-Man, if not the best Spider-Man film, might I add. So I'm really looking forward to this movie. Maybe the post-credit scene may not be as hype as I thought, but I still think there's another post-credit scene or mid-credit scene with Doctor Strange that's going to tease that movie, so that might be a little more hype. So I still think we're going to get a lot of goodness. Maybe that's a little disappointing, but all in all, I'm still very excited. If you agree or disagree, leave your opinions down below. Peace out.